Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. This is Muhammad Shuaib, and this is the Sparks Foundation Internship Program as Data Science and Business Analytics. So today we are going to solve task 1 prediction using supervised machine learning. So we have a problem that is predict the percentage of a student based on the number of study of hours. So we have a data set which include two variables, hours and scores. So first of all, we need to import required libraries as we are import panda library, numpy we use for statistical operations, matplotlib for plotting the graphs, and we have the advanced library seaborn. So we are going to use that library as well. So after importing the required libraries, now we have to import the dataset from the given URL as the Spark Foundation provides us that URL. Now I'm gonna read that URL in the data variable and that copy that data into another data frame. So first of all, we are checking the data. So I'm gonna show first 5 rows of the data, and then now we have to explore the data. So data.shape will show us that how many rows and columns we have in our data. So we have 25 rows and 2 columns. Then checking the data types, so we have two types of variables here, float variable and integer variable. Now we have to summarize the data set. So dot describe function will give us the summary of our data. So as we can see here, we have 25 rows a total, and then we have minimum 1 value and maximum 9 value. And as you can see here, we have 51.48 mean value, and median we have 47. So uh, here we can see our mean value is greater than median, so it means it's right skew. So now we have to check the null values in our data set. So is null dot function dot sum will provide us the null values in our data. So we don't have null values in our data set, which is good. So now we have to visualize our data. I'm using regression plot here, and it will show us the linear relationship between our two variables. So as you can see here, we have a regression plot here, and it shows us that it shows us the linear relationship between these two variables. So as we can see here, the number of hours is increases, so the score will also be increased. So now we have to check the correlation between two variables. So if positive, it means the number of hours is increased, so the score will also be increased. So now checking the distribution. So this dot plot will show us the distribution of our data in hours and score as well. So as we can see here, we don't have any outliers in our data set, so which is good. We need to choose the model and to deploy our model. So for that, we need to split the variables into dependent and independent variables. So here x is our independent and y is our dependent variable. So then we have to use train test split function here, and here I am passing my dependent and independent variable here, and then my test size here is 0.30, which is 30%. Attendance type I am choosing here 25. So after that, we need to train our model and test our model. So here we are importing and using linear regression model. So for that, I'm gonna import the from sklearn.linear model and import linear regression model here, and then I'm gonna train my model here. I'm gonna pass xtrain and ytrain here to fit my model here, and then model.fit function is used to train the model here. So then I'm gonna predict my model by using model.predict function here. So here, if you can see, so it gives me an array which is showing me that if it in time, if my study of a number is increases, so my score will also be increased. So then we need to check the coefficient and intercept. So if you can see the line graph here, so it clearly shows us that if my study of hours increasing, so my score will also be increased. So now we need to evaluate our model. So for that we need to check R2 score here. So R2 score measures the strength of the relationship between your model and the dependent variable on a convenient from 0 to 100% scale. So after fitting the linear regression model, you need to determine how well the data model fits, how well the model fits the data. So here I'm importing R2 score from the sklearn.metrics. So I'm checking R2 score of variable y test and predict variable, and then also I want to see the training score as well here. So as you can see, my R2 score for the testing, that is 0.995, which is 95%, and the R2 training score is also 95%. So it is showing me the training and the testing score, which is 95%, which means it is close to 1. So our linear model is performed very well here. So now we need to look the question that what will be the predicted score if a student studies for 9.25 hours a day. We need to predict this model as well. So if I can see here, if a student studies for 9.25 hours a day, he will get 92% score in the exam.